These are sections from Remains. Is this Chauhan? As we drive in the valleys and the flowery graves, insistent string, mountain ridges opening up to reveal cloud formations rifting, a sudden layer of thin blue film before train stations, music as a gesture outwards or a vague suspicion of what we were. I say this now as my body, which appears young, goes on collecting small disjunctions. I say this as a breath rising up to the wooden beams of the restaurant ceiling, a rhythm like glass pellets raining on tile, days like passages in a Russian novel where love is a distant fracture we can hear from the hill. Each morning we would walk through the dirt soccer fields littered with garbage. We wore our navy blue school uniforms and kicked up dust. How my grandfather shrank after the cancer took hold, I've always wondered. If it penetrates you, if it plants the seed of death in your bones, can you call this your body? Had I the words, had I not been so like a juncture, I might have spoken to him in more honest ways. What can time do but pass? My mother would bring me to his bedside every few days, like she wanted me to know or sense the weight of it. Can you ride your bike now, he would ask me. Do you still fall every time you stop? Limbs bursting through bolted doors, limbs marching through a crowded room, limbs dancing to the pull of unhinged minds, limbs lying, limbs contracting in a fit of pleasure, pushcart limbs advancing, limbs rising to a state of grace, a newspaper article featuring limbs at the border between madness and boredom. In the future, there is no such thing as memory. Limbs free from thirst, limbs falling out of broken time slots, limbs seated in neat cushioned rows, mute limbs, limbs moving in tandem with the ground's vibrations, limbs tumbling down false bottoms, limbs discarded on a Sunday morning, limbs meeting silently for dinner. In the faraway regime, newborn radicals stand on rooftops and signal to each other with colorful scarves. From the air, drones capture the rustle of cloth that covers the country. Is this the genesis of art, we ask? Not revolution, but solace? Windows lit up in the night, smog giving way to layered darkness, so that wanderers may find their way through the splintered alleys that hide beside roads. This land is not our land or yours. Here, the repercussions of not speaking in code are real and full of danger. The true meaning of each word hangs from the underside of its sound, like an iron weight that threatens to sink its speaker. Carmen. Do you remember Carmen? My cousin who married young to a man twice her age and with little means, back in San Luis. I don't know exactly how it happened, but the farm I remember, the pond overgrown with stalks and moss, where I'd catch dragonflies by their tails, their wings almost metallic in the gilded orange noon. Carmen, still 15 and a virgin, sang in the straw-roofed kitchen hut where she helped my grandmother cook, steaming the pig stripe or grinding corn into mush. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm going to build my towers here from memory. I'm stretched. I saw it on television. I regret too many things to start now. I'm broke. I'm refracturing my fingers so they may be set again, but properly. I'm a small body with a ranging stare. I'm unemployed. I'm a mirror image of the people who taught me to string together meaning and sound. I have a country to run. I'm a man of hues. I'm going to play this as if. I'm leaving now, as we speak. I'm leaving this path of small failures for you. I will wait and keep the orphanage clean and the flower fields stocked with breezes scrolled off the ocean. The symphony lifts you up out of the city and never drops you in the same place where it found you, but lower down, somewhere deep and unfinished. Follow the lights to readjust your senses, turning the nearest doorknob for the sake of touch. We are again confronted with the lights of storefronts flickering, alive again, small in this full throttle sound of our machines. All the familiar urges, dreams, and cave paintings sped back to us, bipedal successes bumping into unexpected meetings on their way to safety, billions of small delays streaming down, voices filtered, signals rising out of speakers into crowded eyes. It became fashionable to fall on swords. Every day we fell on any and all swords we could find. If you came across a sword in public, this was ideal, more so if you knew how to fall with appropriate flair, and more so if you fell with the right people watching. It all ended, of course, when the swords rusted and dulled. No one knew how to make any more of them. Nostalgic revival attempts lasted for weeks. It was hard then to dream in the traditional sense. We enjoyed walks across bridges in the cold. Failure was simple and easy. Matamoros will always be gray, soft ash of factories covering streets and sky. I see myself walking by a pack of stray dogs lounging in the wooden porch of a tiny corner store, walls covered with rusted brand names, aluminum ads nailed to the door, prices jutting out from wooden crevices, the occasional gunshot far away, not to be worried over. It's all more dream than memory, though the same could be said of any point of reference. The way we patch our cities together from bits of sound and leftover light, basing the self on compiled suspicions, trying to honor some original gesture that might or might not have been. Thank you.